infection AUs. Now, infection AUs have been blowing up recently, and if you don't know what that is, it's where artists, writers, or what have you take a pre-existing property or franchise and then add in a zombie-esque virus, creating an alternative universe, or AU for short. And one of the most popular franchises that accompany this trend is My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Now, some of you viewers may be thinking, My Little Pony? The show for little girls? And yes, you are correct. But this show is a lot more mature than people think it is. It has a prevalent adult fandom that love its stories, its music, its characters, me included. But with any franchise, there is always a dark side. Horror parodies and creepypastas are very common, and MLP has had this dark side since the first season. A lot of people remember these videos like Cupcakes, or stories like Rainbow Factory, that traumatized others and young people when they first saw them. Now, I am quite new to this fandom, so I haven't experienced much of this myself, but a lot of people saw these early horror stories and loved them, which translates into the infection AUs of today, with zombie outbreaks being a very popular trope. But with all these infection AUs, have you wondered which one of our main 6 ponies, the elements of harmony, would be best fit for survival? Well, in this video, I will answer this very question, taking their personalities, skills, allies, and everything else into consideration. This is which main 6 pony could survive the infection AU. Now, just before we start, here's a little bit of a rundown, because there are a lot of infection AUs out there, and a lot of variations to the just generic zombie virus that's going to affect Equestria. But for this video, we're going to use basic zombie rules to keep things simple and consistent. These being, the virus is spread through contact, i.e. bites, scratches, etc. Zombies are slow moving and struggle to perform complex mobility, as well as being unable to feel pain. The infected want to eat others, spreading the virus as they feast, and finally, they can only be killed by removing the head or destroying the brain. Our ponies, they'll have full access to their homes, and anyone else who might live there at the time, but no elements of harmony or anything like that, just the ponies on their own. If they could use that, they'd probably just cure everyone immediately or something. And outside help will not be taken into consideration, so no princesses, no family members, no pillars, and certainly no Discord. Our scenario will simply be our infected ponies trying to break into the elements' homes, as I feel it's probably a good place to start, and will probably be where the infection starts to begin with. So anyway, on to our first victim, our first survivor. Up first, we have the Princess of Friendship herself, Miss Twilight Sparkle. But I'm pretty sure she's going to need more than friendship in this scenario. Now, Twilight is decked out. Her giant middle finger castle is going to be great protection. Big heavy doors, walls made of crystal and gemstone, many holes and doorways that can be used to escape if someone were to get in. But what if something did get in? Well, she has a solution to that too. Probably knowing the infected ponies, considering them possible friends, Twilight wouldn't want to use lethal force, but she could easily levitate them away, trap them in a force field, or if she really wanted to, just simply blast them away. Her allies can come in clutch too. Her pet owl, Aloysius, can fly overhead and scout for enemies, always out. And how could we forget everyone's favourite character, Spike? Spike can fly too, but his fire breath could help out tremendously for burning away at rotting pony flesh, if he doesn't get too nervous. Plus, even considering all that, Twilight can just teleport away. So it is very, very safe to say that Twilight Sparkle will survive the home invasion. Next up, we have Ponyville's resident party pony, Pinkie Pie. Now, Pinkie Pie's home in Sugar Cube Corner will not be as fortified as Twilight's castle, being your average bakery with only half a swinging door as an entrance. Although if anything were to get inside, Pinkie would surely know about it, thanks to her Pinkie sense that can possibly detect when a threat is nearby. And Pinkie actually has the most amount of allies on this list, not only having her pet gator Gummy, but Mr. and Mrs. Cake, along with their 2 children, Pumpkin and Pancake. Now, Pinkie definitely has a lot of party-themed tricks up her sleeve that probably couldn't... I somehow wrote cake instead of kill in my script. That probably couldn't kill an infected pony, but would certainly help in slowing them down or trapping them. Silly string, her party cannon, and the like. Mr. and Mrs. Cake would also more than likely have access to their cooking and baking equipment, which can include blunt force objects like rolling pins, and maybe even some knives that would be effective at knocking off or slicing off an infected head, at the risk of getting close. However, Gummy and the Cake Twins wouldn't be much help. Yes, Gummy can bite someone, but the zombies do not feel pain, and Gummy, as his name suggests, has no teeth. So he would just get in the way, and the Cake Twins would be a huge detriment. They get out of control very easily and put themselves or someone else in danger, or get too upset and start to cry, which would alert the infected to their location. And I doubt Mr. and Mrs. Cake would leave their kids behind. So even with all their weapons and supplies, their home isn't very secure, and the infected could easily break in, and some of them may sadly die. However, Pinkie Pie has one final trick up her sleeve. Metaphorically. Her party cave, a secret trapdoor in her room that leads directly into a large underground cavern that can be hidden in. The infected would not be able to figure out how to open the trapdoor, so they would be safe inside. It may even lead out somewhere else that they can escape from. But being one of the elements of harmony, Pinkie would try to put her own life before everyone else's, but her general bouncy and elastic nature would make her very hard to catch. Especially at one point, she's shown to move faster than a full-speed rainbow dash. So with potentially 1 or 2 casualties, Pinkie Pie will serve Pinkie Pie. The fastest flyer in Ponyville, the Wonderbolt, the president of the Scootaloo fan club, Rainbow Dash is next in line on the infected's path of destruction. Now, Rainbow Dash lives up in Cloudsdale, the best pun in the whole show in my opinion, which is, if you may have guessed, in the clouds. A place only Pegasus and Alicorns can actually walk along, so there are going to be significantly less zombies for Dash to deal with, but nevertheless, she has to deal with them regardless. Now, Dash has a pretty big house, weirdly very big. Anyway, even though it is big, her walls are made of clouds, which can just be, well, walked through, essentially. And even if they somehow couldn't, her windows, or lack thereof, are wide open. And her door is small. The infected are definitely getting in. Dash does have great physical prowess, however, bucking and punching enemies whenever she gets a chance. Like when she fought those changelings at one time. Only this time, the enemies aren't going to feel any pain. They won't be knocked out, and will be actively trying to eat her. So if she's a little reckless, which oftentimes she can be, she could potentially get herself infected if she's caught. But while Dash is always down for a brawl, and will more likely try to start one, she is the element of loyalty, after all. And if zombies, of all things, are attacking her, they're probably attacking her friends too. And if you hadn't forgotten already, Rainbow Dash can casually just break the sound barrier to help fast she can fight in an instant. So if she wanted to skedaddle, simply zipping away for safety or to help others would be incredibly easy. So Rainbow Dash would 100% survive. Best pony fight meet. Now, our favourite of fashionista Rarity lives in a simple boutique in Ponyville, where she crafts only the finest outfits for all ponies everywhere across Equestria, as she's the most generous pony, the most beautiful pony, the most elegant pony. Okay, I'll stop. Anyway, Rarity's boutique wouldn't offer much protection. There are quite a lot of fabrics and mannequins around that can be tossed at intruding zombies, but nothing that would deal significant damage to kill anything, unless they got lucky with a headshot. Her and Sweetie Belle, who also lives there, are unicorns, but don't have the same kind of spells as Twilight. But Sweetie Belle has used that highly advanced speed spell that Starlight used. I forgot the name. Jenny put it in the video. So she could just easily run away if need be. But other than levitation and dressmaking spells, Rarity doesn't have much to defend herself. And being the absolute drama queen that she is, she would definitely be in a state of panic and make very rash decisions. When push comes to shove, Rarity can and absolutely will throw hands. She's not some pony you want to piss off, but I'm not convinced, and I doubt her fat cat is gonna be of any use. So that means that, oh come on, there's gotta be something. Something else? Anything else? Surely. I guess Rarity is, sadly, our first casualty, and would probably not survive the attack on her home. Next on our list, we have the rootin' tootin' Applejack, living on the Sweet Apple Acres farm, with her 2 siblings and her Granny Smith. Now, the apples have a massive farm. It's not called Sweet Apple Acres for no reason, giving them plenty of places to run, hide, and potentially completely avoid all the infected without any trouble. Even with someone like Granny, who could very easily slow them down, being how old she is, Applejack, and especially her brother Big Macintosh, are more than capable of carrying her around, or tossing her in a cart with Apple Bloom, and wheeling them to safety. Applejack and Big Mac are also incredibly strong, probably the strongest ponies in Ponyville. Big Mac himself even beating Rocco in an arm wrestle in the comics. They'd be more than capable of one-tapping any varmint that dared try to attack them. And with 2 of them plus the family dog Winona, who can help with tracking, the apples are more than capable of getting out alive, and will even have equal opportunity to grab some food on the way out.
Apples!
So Applejack, Apple Bloom, Big Macintosh, and Granny Smith, and Winona will survive the home invasion. And finally, the infection spreads further through Ponyville, making its way to Fluttershy's cottage in the woods. Now, Fluttershy has been known to barricade her house before, but how fast can she do this with the infected right outside? I'd say not very. Her home has a lot of ways for small critters to come in and out through her walls, but these wouldn't be big enough for any zombie to fit through. But she has normal wooden doors and windows that can be easily broken down with enough force. Now, sadly, what we need to talk about is how Fluttershy would react. She is quite famously, as her name suggests, very shy, as well as being scared very, very easily. And while Fluttershy can stand up to certain foes, the infected will not be listening to her, so even her stare wouldn't work. And it's common knowledge that despite being a Pegasus, Fluttershy is a very bad flyer. Even if she's falling to her death, she'll be so scared she'll just forget she can fly. And when she is scared, instead of running or fighting back, Fluttershy tends to go into panic and curl up in a ball and pray that whatever is happening just goes away. Which does sadly mean she will be exceptionally vulnerable and succumb to the infected. However, she may have one saving grace: animals. Now, Fluttershy loves animals, and the animals love Fluttershy. Now, some may flee during this attack, but a lot of them will try to protect Fluttershy. While only small, I am sure Angel Bunny will take no shit from the zombies. But the main one I want to discuss here is her bear. A whole ass grizzly bear. This thing is more than capable of getting Fluttershy out of harm's way, and potentially demolishing several zombies. Now, I love bears. I know a lot of stupid facts about bears. Like, for example, did you know that bears can run over 30 miles an hour? Yeah, they're really fast. And also, did you know that bears can just, not die from blood loss? If you, stab them or cut them, they'll just stop bleeding. They'll just, stop. It's insane. Bears are so cool. But, however, this isn't just any kind of bear. This is Fluttershy's bear. And this bear is a coward. While fighting is not off the table, Fluttershy's bear friend is often shown to be hiding behind Fluttershy when any scary opportunity arises. And I think a horde of zombies is in fact, well, pretty scary. If they were to finally attack, it would be too late, and there would be too many zombies already in the cottage, and they would soon be overwhelmed. So, sadly, Fluttershy would not survive the home attack. And with that, that's all our main 6. 4 lived, and 2, very sadly, couldn't make it. Maybe if things went differently, they could have survived. Maybe if they had time or a plan, or each other, maybe they could have made it out. But the infection will continue to spread. And they are hungry. My Little Pony, the show for babies, the little